Whoa. All right. Hello and welcome. Here we are today at the Fern and Frond Waiting Pond. I've been excited. I wanted to do another Enchanted by Nature house build. And I had a character that I was really wanting to get a house for, and I thought this would be the perfect place to put her in. This is Solora. She is one of my oldest original characters that I've had created. She's an elf, and while there aren't elves in The Sims, now I can have pointy ears. So here she is. She's going to get her own house. She is a spellcaster. As her story goes, she is a witch. So I want to... She's a witch that works with spirits a lot, but also works in apothecary work. So with the new naturopathy skill, I wanted to make her in The Sims so she could be my naturopathist. As well as she'll be a spellcaster. Which I think a lot of my Sims end up being spellcasters, and that's because I like really, really love witches in all storylines that do that. But yeah, so we're gonna turn this into her both naturopathic as well as a secondary store. So there is going to be multiple cottages on this land, because she'll have one that's her actual house, one that's a storefront for her to sell goods that she makes, finds and whatnots, as well as a small area for her to do her naturopathic work. So that's kind of the plan. I am going to rearrange this pond a little bit, but I do want to keep it kind of the way it is to hold the feeling of the land. However, I do think having like access to back here might be nice. I don't know. Is there anything? Okay, we got like a little weird barbed wire fence there. There aren't like plants or anything. There's one plant there, it looks like. Nope, that's just grass. Never mind. I don't really see anything around here that she's going to have access to. So I might... now I'm like... Got a rethought process. I might go for the main area being up here, and then having her house back here. So this would be like the store and stuff, and then the naturopathy area would come off of it. Her house would be back here, and then over here might be, garden, stuff like that. So let's start by, I do want to mess with the terrain. So I'm just going to go butt wild, have fun with this, and not worry about how much money I'm spending on her. She's already bought the lot, and, I'm going to do that. But first, let's work on... So we're going to want to turn on move objects so that we can have that appropriate, as well as we're going to do the debugs. So show hidden objects. If I can spell it right, hold on. We want rocks and stuff. Okay, it took me a while to find the rocks and stuff, but I finally found them. And this is kind of exactly what I was looking for, these rocks with the greenery on top. So I can build up my own little area that makes it look a little bit more like it goes into the terrain and it's not just like awkwardly floating. Then she'll have a lovely staircase up, and in order to fill in these gaps, I'm adding in a bunch of plants. As the character also likes plants, I figured this would be a great way to just incorporate some more plants around the area as well, because she'd probably have a lot of plants like anyway. I also really enjoyed just trying out new objects or different plants and seeing where they'd fit in. Now I'm going to cover them all up with a house. I had a basic understanding of the shape of the house I wanted to go for, but I do tweak it quite a bit throughout the process to just kind of make sure it's the right size and there's enough space. And I don't like having the greenery coming through the walls, so I'm messing with that and making sure that I'm not getting awkward plant foliage coming through the walls. The terrain messing with in the plants definitely took a lot of time, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out here at the end. So I realized that my shape over there wasn't quite the right size, so I went ahead and fixed that up. Now we're gonna go and raise the flooring up a bit and add in a tiny patio entryway to the front here. That messed up my stairs a little bit, so I have to go in and fix that. Just want to make sure that there is walkway, like there's walkway between the stairs and the beginning of the building, in case I want to have like bug boxes or anything like that, or some other plants up on this little pet like upper area as well. So I wanted to give the house a little bit more of a shape, so I didn't get just the box. So I added a little dip in it on that side. And we're going to add in this circular roof here and start working on the roofs. Roofs are kind of like the bane of my existence in some cases, because I'm like, ugh. And I wanted there to be a second floor, but yeah. It was a lot of trial and error. I had a lot of trial and a lot of error. I ended up settling on going with these little, I guess kind of like house eye holes. I don't know. I guess that's how I would say it. And just like nice little indents that come out of the roof to add little windows and a little more depth to the house, as well as it gave the attic just a tiny bit more space. Now getting the roof coloring in. I wanted to go definitely purples, because the character herself is very much purple and likes purple colors and things like that. So I did decide I need to make the house a little bigger and got everything. So now I have to shift everything over. But I'm happy that it all could fit on this space up here, because I wasn't 100% sure if it was going to be able to fit. And keeping everything together was definitely a struggle. And I wanted to make sure things looked symmetrical, but it was not easy. I did get the house, the roofing a trim, as well as made it indented to give it that kind of more whimsical vibe. So we have a nice stone on the front and then the wooden on the sides. So now I'm going through, and like I said, my goal is to kind of just stick within the realm of magic and Enchanted by Nature set. Since she is also a spellcaster, I liked the idea to have that. She's kind of like a character that moved from her place to the fairy place, and while fairies might not like spellcasters, here she is kind of living her best life amongst people that might not like her necessarily. So I really wanted to have a nice vibe mixed between those two. Little greenhouse is coming along well. I decided I wanted to put these pillars so that it just doesn't look like there's glass floating, but I went ahead and put them on the inside so you can't see them on the outside, like sticking up through the roof the same. Now for the inside layout, I had really no idea what I wanted to do with it. So I kind of just was like, what if there was a bathroom in the back of the house and then there was a staircase in the center that just led right like that. I really like the windows from the spellcaster one, but I went ahead and moved them because I felt like the moon stuff was just, there was too many moons on the window. I wish I could have moon windows and then a matching one that wasn't the moon, but yeah. So I had to open up this area up here, kind of give it a nice opening to lead to the basement or to the main house. So this attic has a little space going on. Then I found this room that I really liked and I was like, oh, that would be fun. Let's add a basement. And she did need more space anyway, so I'm happy that I chose to add a basement into this little hill thingy. So I'm gonna grab a room. First adding the walls. But I am gonna grab a room off of just the inside that little thing. I don't know what that's called. But just in a nice little magic room. Plop it right down, and then I'm gonna slowly shift everything to make it so it is the basement. Which took some time because, and then I had to mess around with all of the outside decorations once more because that moved the ground around by adding a basement. So it's all just about, you know, slowly moving and making sure. I didn't want you to be able to see this back area as like as much as possible. So I added in as much foliage as I could. Now we're adding in some flowers up here because again, she really likes plants and I want to make sure that this whole house looks just like a gardener's heaven, I guess. Like so many plants, so many things of color and flower and just like that bring joy. So I wanted to add in all the colors and I didn't really have an idea or thought about it. I just kind of went for it. So I love this hill over here and the way it turned out, just flowers upon flowers on this hillside. All right, so now we're back to the basement and yep, I'm just gonna move everything around, kind of make it so this space is its own like usable space. But I like taking the things right off of the gallery or right off the thing. I don't remember what it's called again. Right out of the like catalog like that because it gives you all the stuff that matches and it makes me feel like I'm not forgetting anything because it was already like a correct like created room. Messing with a bunch of different things, trying to see exactly the vibe I kind of want to go for with this cauldron area. And then I have to bring in the apothecary things from my inventory. Decided to make the table smaller because that was a really long and aggressive table for such a small space. So I gave her a tinier table so that she can still sit down here, hang out, add in some more lights so it's not as dark, and kind of adding in that extra. Here was hard because again, I was trying to make sure I was sticking with a base game and then the Enchanted by Nature plus spellcaster one. So I had a couple of, it was hard for me to find some things that matched, but I liked using this like fish scale looking one up here as I don't get to use it very often. I kind of wanted a clean, but also slightly dirty, I guess, flooring. I wanted to make sure that it kind of looked a little bit like maybe the house is taken care of, but also older. And we're adding in the rest of the kitchen stuff so she can actually have this kitchen area up here. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably could have just put the cauldron in the greenhouse, but that's okay. I gave her a coffee or a tea maker because, you know, you have to, if you're a witchy person, you gotta have your tea. You gotta have your tea. So we're gonna add in these nice little witchy things. I'm horrible. Okay, so I'm horrible with curtains. So yeah, that I put one curtain down and was like, this is stupid. And just moved on right along. Decorating is not my forte and I gotta work on that, but I'm getting better at designing or like the house itself right now. So I'm not gonna worry about the whole decorating. I'll get better at decorating later. I did find it quite annoying to have to turn off and on the stuff in order to get base game. I don't know, there's probably a button there that I was missing, so I'll have to make sure I learn that better. I did throw her bedroom over inside the greenhouse area, kind of so she has that open air, free feeling for her bedroom. And moving around kind of this living area. I wasn't sure. Like, a spellcaster probably doesn't have a TV, but I was like, all right, I'll give her a TV anyway. Put it in the corner, move everything over. Now she's got this nice little, like, sitting area right in front of the bathroom. Now I have an awkward corner, but that's fine. I'm just going to add some plants in because she definitely likes plants and wants to have a bunch of that stuff. I do think when playing her, I'll definitely add in the more living plants that she can actually like work with. I think that will be a lot of fun. So up here, I'm going to add in the study, making sure it's not coming through the roof, as well as a bar and another cauldron for her to do more like researchy kind of things up here. And I gave her a meditation pillow just in case she wants to, you know, get that zen on. That might go outside, but yeah. Okay, now we're all set. I didn't think that making just the main house would take that long, but that's definitely where I'm going to end. I tried to make sure for this set anyway, I was only using Realm of Magic and Enchanted by Nature objects. I think there are a couple snuck in that weren't, but that was my main goal. So you have to be flat in order to get into the main or into the attic up here. The attic, I added a bar as well as a reading area and a cauldron. The main area, we have the living area with the mini TV. Then we have a bathroom that I used mostly Realm of Magic stuff in, but I tried to keep a little bit of that natural vibe going as well. We have a fireplace. This one kind of off-put. I'm not sure 100% if I like it there, but I wanted to add in a fireplace, so I kind of enjoy that wall being stone and having that kind of fireplacey vibe. A nice open kitchen here. And then a bedroom that is a glass greenhouse as well. And then we go into the basement where we have another cauldron, pretty much another kitchen setup, as well as the apothecary kitchen and whatnot. There is a window there, and I left it because I planned on putting a door here and another room. However, with the way that it was working with the outside, I want to make sure that I go about that in the appropriate way before I mess with it. So I'm just leaving the window there for now. Figured I can deal with it later. But that is the lot so far. I'm really happy with the way that the house turned out. She'll be able to get most of her living stuff done while we work towards getting that next step of the enchanted, or of the naturopathy, whatnot's going. She should be able to get into the house and everything. We can jump back into live mode. I will be minusing out her household funds once I start playing her, but overall that build, it looks like it took a little over 50,000, which isn't that bad considering. Perfect. Yeah, so she's all able to work out in her nice little house here. So everything is set up and good. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Oh my gosh. She's being dramatic. I should probably make these match. But I'm happy with the way it turned out. Using these two packs together was kind of something that I'd wanted to do for a while, because I like the way that I think the stuff can work really well together in certain iterations. So I'm happy with it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this build, leave a comment below and make sure you like the video. Things like that really help me out, especially as I'm growing my channel. It's been fun, it's been cozy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.